Everyone, this is Aga here. This is a very different video to what I usually record on this channel, and this one is much more recent news, kind of like that political aspect of video, so I hope you enjoy it. This is something that I actually like running, like something like this that I like working on and scripting, so I hope you like this video. Today's video is going to be on a very interesting topic, the clown show that is the US political scene. Now, just to give you a bit of an introduction, two immigrants who are in charge of a government organization are advocating for immigrants during a Republican government stay, while these two immigrants are also very pro-Republican and pro-America. This is something that if I told you like a month or two ago, you would just call me crazy and just put me in the mental asylum for, and I wouldn't blame you for it. But welcome to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, the American nightmare. So to start off our hellish tale, we need to look at our main characters. First is Elon Musk, a immigrant, he isn't because he is, to the US, who came on a student visa, whose father owned an emerald mine in South Africa, so very rich individual, and he came here on a study permit, like a student visa, and he became a citizen. He now owns several companies, some of the biggest companies in the US, such as Tesla, SpaceX, and he also owns the former Bird app that has now been marked by the horizontal axis symbol. That's all I'll say. And Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek is a first generation Indian immigrant, so his parents came here through India, but he was born on US soil, and he is a very interesting businessman. One of his biggest controversies was when he bought a failed Alzheimer's drug, and he basically made a company that was selling the drug, and he sold it through an IPO and cashed out. Basically, scammed his way into living a businessman life, and these two are very important people for this context for two reasons. For Elon Musk, it's the fact that he's basically been attached at the hip with Trump, and with he's using his social media platform that he owns as a like almost like a right wing echo chamber at certain times, because the app has gotten way more racist, way more xenophobic, way more everything. And me personally, I don't care that much, but it's just to give you the backstory. It's just to give you like the meat and potatoes. So he's very right wing. He's basically hinting at being red pilled, and he's basically on his oh, I support Trump, I support America First grind. He's been pictured at lots of Trump rallies. He's been pictured in events where Trump has also attended. He's just been behind like the gang, and it's really funny because Musk has been to lots of events that like Trump has been to, and he's been basically pretending to do like the, oh hey, how you doing, like just, oh, I ran into by accident trope. He notably did it at a UFC event, and it did not go well. So yeah, Elon is kind of like that per-social kid. So that's Elon. And Vivek was actually a candidate for Republican nomination for the presidency. Now he was running against Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, Trump, basically like the entire Republican gang, and he was one of the more like unique characters because he basically said like, "Oh, I am funding my campaign myself with allegedly scammed drug money," and it's essentially like he was a mini Trump in that aspect. But he did what a lot of people expected, because you're not going to be a bigger fish in the Republican Party than Trump, and dropped out of the race and basically backed Trump throughout his entire campaign, helped with him, worked with him. And these two, Elon Musk and Vivek, because of their association with Trump and how they've worked, these two got a very good deal in running Doge. Doge is the Department of Government Efficiency, essentially run by Elon Musk and Vivek, and they're basically going through like checking government audits, essentially ways of improving government, which in theory is good, but you're leaving two immigrant businessmen at charge. Now, I am not one to talk. I am not the pot calling the kettle black, but all I'm gonna say is, yeah, these two pulled a very big bait and switch. And let's get to that bait and switch. So Elon Musk tweeted saying, maybe this is a helpful clarification. Now, this was about an immigration topic that he tweeted, and he basically said this: I am referring to bringing in, via legal immigration, the top 0.1% of engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning. This is like bringing in the Jokic's or Wembys of the world to help your whole team, which is mostly Americans, win the NBA. Think of America as a pro sports team that has been winning for a long time and wants to keep winning is the right mental construct. Now, this man has some form of superiority complex or something because this man just compared a nation, an organic nation, to a sports team. And not only that, but the thing he's talking about how, like, oh, best sports players, these are like the top guys and all of this. Yeah, that is about to get disproven very fast, so stay for it. So he basically said this and went on like a, oh yeah, we're bringing in top talent, we're doing this, we're trying to make America win, and these are usually said in a, and this was clarified later on by a different person. I don't remember what this context exactly was, but basically saying, oh, we need temporary workers in the U.S. because America is going broke and stuff. Elon is very vocal about like government spending, and he's very critical of that. And he's basically on this whole like, yeah, we can't track money in the government. This is like very much a messed up situation. The government needs to do better, which is all well and fair. I agree with that, and here is the wonderful hypocrisy of Elon Musk. Now, to explain this, we gotta look at US visa systems. So, for US visas, there are three visas. For athletes, it's usually recommended they get a P1 visa, which is like an athletics visa, but they can also get an O1 visa. O1 visas are visas for individuals with extraordinary ability or achievement, and these are usually in the fields of sciences, arts, education, business, and it also has an O1B visa for motion picture and television industry. So essentially, the best of the best can get this visa and come to the US and work for all of these companies. Now, they can be like the Einsteins, they can be like the Meryl Streeps, like essentially like, I don't know if Meryl Streep's American or not, but just think of like, just accept the comparison. So these are like the top of the top, like the creme de la creme of people that can come to the US and work. Now, H1B visas are also similar because H1B visas, and this is going to be a big topic, H1B work visas are temporary visas that allow employers to petition for highly specialized experts, basically. So these experts and these specialty occupations require like bachelor's degrees or equivalents usually, and these are also recommended in fields such as math, engineering, technology, and medical sciences. So these are like the big hitters, and these are usually like a 3 year, maybe at max 6 year visa that can be extended into that. But essentially, like these are visas that are really strict, and these are visas that are temporary. They're meant to be like, oh, the expert comes in, helps us, we train a replacement, expert leaves, and the replacement does the job well. Now, here is the kicker. H1B visas have been abused in the past, especially by big tech companies, because you can hire foreign labor for cheap using these for entry level positions. Again, H1B visas, as they are clearly stated in their description, they are essentially meant to be for specialized experts. These are meant to be temporary visas for the creme de la creme to come and like work for your company. Now, I have here a list of H1B salary data. This is from the H1B salary database for Tesla jobs that are on H1B sponsors. So these positions, if you apply for them, you can basically get sponsored for an H1B for these. And here in this list, from the lowest base salary to the highest base salary, the lowest base salary is $73,000 and the highest base salary is $90,000, ranging from positions such as materials planner to chemical process engineers and lots of things in between, like associate QA engineers, process engineers, quality engineers. Essentially, lots of engineering positions, lots of these positions. But here is the kicker. These are entry level positions. These are associate, usually like associate engineers, associate like industrial engineers. They have lots of positions like associate manufacturing equipment engineer, and they basically have lots of these associate positions. They have these entry level positions. Now, why would you need the creme de la creme to come for entry level positions at these rates? Especially when American schools can also produce engineers that are good enough for these positions. Now, the reason I brought up the American engineers is because of what Vivek Ramaswamy did. Now, Elon is very stupid for trying to argue for immigration when his entire campaign and his entire image up to this point by attaching himself to the hip with Trump has been America first. So much so that like Trump is already putting like tariffs and stuff. Like they are taking the America first statement like really seriously. So Elon is already strike one. Strike two came when Rimek Vavaswani, I'm not going to pronounce his name at this point, I'm just going to call him Vivek, because this man had a generational mid 40s midlife crisis crash out. So he goes on a rant and he basically says, and I'm just quoting him from what he's saying, by the way. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 1990s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. Basically, a culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zack and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steven Urkel in Family Matters, will not produce the best engineers. Basically, and he goes on like, he's basically like targeting American culture and stuff. He's basically like, we need more movies like Whiplash. We need more math tutoring and fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out in the mall. Essentially, he's attacking America itself, but with the way he's talking. Because again, the message may be right. He may be like onto like a genius discovery, but brother, you are not the one that should be saying this. You are not the one that should be saying this, especially because of your background, because of the very illegal way you've gotten your money, because of the fact that your best fucking buddy at this point, that is running a government agency with you, is using visa exploits and abusing visa requirements to hire cheap labor. This isn't what you should be. This isn't what you should be saying. This isn't. You are not the person that should be saying this, brother. And he basically went on a generational rant, and basically, he's saying like normalcy doesn't cut it out, and this can basically be we will awaken from the slumber before, and we can do it again. Basically, there will be a new golden era in America, rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing alternate hiring practices into existence. Basically, he's basically saying like excellence over mediocrity. Now, the reason I brought up those H1B databases is because these numbers for entry level positions are a little bit less considering these are engineering people, these are engineers. They went through 9 circles of hell over 4, maybe even 5 years. I don't know how long engineering degrees usually are, but blood, sweat, and tears poured into an engineering degree for these offers at an entry level company such as Tesla. Do you think do you think the American people will look at these numbers and say, yeah, I'll work for those. I'll have like 60-hour plus weeks, especially considering these are entry level positions and like you gotta do more to prove yourself in these positions. Yeah, I will definitely overwork and stress myself for 73 grand when my degree costs 100 and yeah, like the government ain't helping me and stuff on this. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. No, the Americans would look at this and say 73 is a little bit too low for me. Let's start negotiations at 90. Like, this is basically how the American would negotiate. Now, it is fair for them to negotiate because it is entry level work, but it is engineering. It is a field with lots of, where, as Elon Musk himself is saying, there's lots of requirement for talent. If there is an excess need for talent, then the talent needs to be paid. But here is the issue. Elon Musk and lots of other billionaires from Apple and Google, which I have some data on Google right now. Google fired 6,000 people, so they eliminated 6,000 jobs in the US, but they added 5,500 H1Bs. Again, if we look into Google's H1Bs and if we do like a comparison, you can see that the H1Bs were not about having the creme de la creme. They were about having cheap people to work for them. Because these are all H1Bs on entry level jobs, which is not what the H1B is intended for. Now, Elon had this whole thing, and once it was basically discovered that Elon is bringing immigrants in, he's pro immigrant, he wants them taking American jobs and stuff, especially educated American jobs. Yeah, shit hit the fan. Pardon my language, but shit really hit the fan in the US, and Vivek and Elon Musk are frankly screwed. Now, Elon is a bit more fine long term because Elon is like a billionaire. He is chill. He has enough money. He has enough fuck you money to like get away with this. But Vivek is screwed. Vivek is now placed a time bomb on himself. Now, to get an idea of why, this bait and switch that they pulled, if they kept everything here under wraps, if they didn't make this public, they could have very easily gotten away with it. They could have integrated programs that could have helped them get away with it. And by the time, let's say, if Trump was to lose office in 2028, they could easily say the Democrats are bringing people in and doing this, and like, oh, the people Democrats brought in are costing Americans their jobs. All they had to do was keep this under wraps, and they would have achieved their goal. Again, a lot of people think, oh, Elon Musk is bringing immigrants in, he's bringing skilled labor. It's at least good. Like some left-wing people are arguing, like, oh, Elon is pro-immigration and like he's hiring engineering jobs and stuff. That's a bit suspicious, but like, good on him, I guess. Well, he isn't doing it because he has a big open heart for the US for top tier work. He hates the US so much because they know what they're worth that he's hiring foreigners on for cheaper to do American jobs for him. And this is why I personally think, this is my prediction, Vivek Ramaswamy will not last 6 months. He will not last until July in his position at Doge, and there's going to be a very big scandal in the US. I am thinking that as soon as Vivek gets ousted because of the amount of stuff he knows, the amount of insider information he has, if he just blows the whistle on everything, he cannot be taken out. He isn't like a Boeing whistleblower. He isn't just like some random person. This man is he's not small enough to be taken out, but he is also not big enough to get away with this. So he is in the middle of he's in the middle of the Venn diagram, and everything is gonna come right out of him. They're gonna get scooped out. And Vivek basically, if he blows the whistle, he's going to be in a very much destroyed position with the government. It's going to be a big scandal that destroys the Republican Party. Or he gets paid hush money, and eventually, when it's discovered that someone is paying Vivek, let's say hundreds of thousands a month in random payments after he was let go by Doge, don't you think that it is very suspicious? So the Republican Party has, and like Trump, and like the Republicans in general at this point, they have this big ticking time bomb on their hands. So what should they do? I cannot believe that Trump is not only going to be able to navigate this, but Trump has actually, I believe, kind of seen this. I think because of Trump's America First policy, and I think because of the way he's implementing tariffs and stuff, I feel like if Trump sees like what Elon and Vivek are up to, I think Trump would intervene, and I think Vivek, as I said, Vivek is basically toast. Vivek is done. A government official, again, this is the big part of the story, not only because of who these two men are in terms of what they are for the Republican Party and like the GOP and like the right wing, it's also important because these two are running a newly formed and newly created government agency slash office. They are running a department of government efficiency, and when it's run by these two people, of all the people in the world, if you have Elon Musk and Vivek running this, yeah, it's a ticking time bomb, and I think when it explodes, it will shape U.S. politics a lot. It will definitely be like a Watergate level scandal, maybe even bigger because digital age, a lot more stuff can get out, a lot more misinformation can be spread. So, yeah, we're in for a bumpy ride for the US. But I am going to make a bet, and I will post this a bit later. I will make a bet on Polymarket because I've already seen the Polymarket odds and how, because of this Vivek crash out, that his odds of being out by July are at like 70 plus percent. I am going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to put a bet and I'm going to make it public, and we're going to see what happens next. But again, this only works if the American people are smart enough to recognize that, hey, these two people that said they're right wing in America first, they are hiring immigrants to replace our jobs because they don't want to pay us, which is a very big factor. It's not because the immigrants are skilled. The US produces skilled workers too, but it's the money. It's the fact that they're willing to work for cheaper. That is the root cause of this. They're not bringing immigrants because they love the US. They're bringing immigrants because it's cheaper. It costs them less money. And as soon as this gets recognized, which it already is, there's lots of controversial stories about H1B right now. There's lots of issues about Trump, and lots of issues. In the website that Elon owns, there's already a big issue with his critics. A lot of accounts who once were formerly allied or like supportive of him are now criticizing him, and they're losing their verification, they're losing their pay. So it's gonna be a messy situation. So all I can say right now, folks, is strap in. We're gonna have a bumpy ride into 2024, and keep an eye on Elon and Vivek. That's all. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it was entertaining, and I will see you at the next video, and I will see you at my Polymarket post.